Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. This is your day. This is Friday. This is the live call-in show. I will be taking the Patreon questions first. I'm about 15 minutes late, but you guys tend to know that with me. I'm going to stay on as long as the questions keep flowing in. What's up, Rich? What's up, Tasha? I'm happy to see you guys. I'm happy to see all of you guys today. Feeling really good about this weekend, and we were feeling good before last weekend, but who would have known the damage we would have done? We absolutely destroyed Vegas. We absolutely destroyed the spreads. We absolutely destroyed the competition. And then like I am also. Some of you guys have been pointing out other people on YouTube. And I'm just seeing, and like I'm just saying, like, man, all this stuff is fake. All this stuff is fake. We're like the only ones who are really doing this for real. Yes, I do bet player props. It's just like there's so much to do during the NFL season that I sometimes forget about them. Definitely in playoffs. We hit a lot last year in the playoffs. What's up, Lauren? What's up, Genus? What's up, Dave? New Hampshire's a very nice state. Very nice state. A little bit too cold for me, but very nice state. What's up, Dave? Yeah, let's destroy, Dan. It's just time to come in here and destroy. And like someone said in the comment section yesterday, we're actually betting real money on this channel. We're not betting monopoly money or units. So yeah. I mean, I think that's why the station's picking up, because this station is real. And then you guys saw how bad the video quality was for the two videos this week. I think the over under and upset the bet, I had terrible video quality. That was just due to a technical problem with my internet. So that wasn't anything that's permanent. Yeah, dude. The Eagles game, that was crazy. The way that ended was a little bit suspicious. All right, I'm gonna get to the Patreon questions, and link is in description. Only $5 a month. And in this red notebook, I hold a golden ticket. The Patreon bets I will be posting tonight. Right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games I'm looking at. Probably going to trim 2 off. I just need to go look at the injury reports. But yeah, we should come in hot again on Patreon. Okay, so let me get to the Patreon questions. This is weird. Patreon is weird with how they just display the questions. Anyways, this is from Joe Kim. Still Cowboys -4. Yeah, we saw it work down to -3.5, -3. Let me check what the bookies have it at now, because I don't think we need to pay -4 for it. Yeah. Caesars has it at -3.5. WinBet has it at -3. FanDuel has it at -3. I think I saw on my bookie today at -3. Don't quote me, but for sure, if you're patient, you can get it on my bookie for -3. And I think that's the play. I don't like the -4 on the road. I probably shouldn't be scared about it, because the fundamentals of this game are rather simple. I think the Cowboys just have too much firepower, and everyone likes to talk about Bill Belichick, but everyone forgets that this game is about your dogs, and it's important to have a great head coach. Don't get me wrong. Like Sean Payton, he's going to win us money the whole year just because he's able to outcoach people. Although Jameis Winston did look really good against Washington. I don't want to take away all credit, but that is an example. But I just don't think Bill Belichick has the athletes. And, say what you will about the Cowboys, and we know a Cowboys choke is always ready. But normally they do choke at home. But also there's just too much explosion. Even if the Cowboys come with a C+, B- game, I think they'll do it, especially on the offensive side of the ball. This Patriots defense isn't what it was. I mean, Davis Mills was moving the ball against them. And another thing I want to say about this Cowboys-Patriots game is we know the Cowboys defense is fugazi. Yes, they are. But The Patriots offense isn't the type of team to exploit them. First of all, I think the Patriots had 4 offensive line starters injured or out against the Texans. It's getting a little bit better, but I think they'll be without 3 starters on Sunday against the Cowboys. One thing the Cowboys are doing really well on defense is they're rushing 4 and they're getting pressure on the quarterback. If you're able to get pressure on the quarterback, that can make your secondary look a hell of a lot better. And here's what I'm looking at. I'm seeing the Patriots, and I'm not seeing the same stuff out of Matt Jones as everyone else. Like everyone's anointing Matt Jones as the second coming, and I don't really understand why. I don't even think he's the first or second best rookie quarterback this year. And it's not that I'm hating on Matt Jones. It's just he doesn't have enough weapons. And you saw how Stephon Diggs' brother stepped up last week. What did he have? 2 picks, and he had like 2 picks in a game earlier this year. Man, if the Cowboys can force a few turnovers, the Patriots could get blown out. Like I'm more worried about the Patriots getting blown out this game than the Cowboys not covering. I don't know if the Patriots have the athletes to keep up with the Cowboys. That's where I'm at on that. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I'm working through the Patreon questions first. This is from Robert Johnson. Browns and Ravens games over. What do you think? Let me go check out the Browns over under. Nick Chubb is out though, and Nick Chubb is out. Let me go to it. Okay. Yeah, I like the under in the Arizona Cleveland game a lot. Nick Chubb is out, so I think that's going to help. But I wouldn't necessarily throw in the towel on Cleveland completely because they do have Kareem Hunt and they do have a top 5 offensive line in the league. But Nick Chubb out definitely cements that as under. I like that one all week. And then let me see the other game you were asking about, the Browns game. The Ravens game. Let me get to the Ravens one. Yeah, so Chargers Baltimore is over under 51 and a half. Yeah, I would probably go under, but it is a little bit risky. We got someone from Alaska. What's up, Seth? Zamora with the super chat. If you send a super chat, that's how you skip the line. Lawson, how you like my money line? Parlay. Arizona, Los Angeles Chargers, Las Vegas Raiders. Dude, I'm not so sure Arizona wins just because Nick Chubb's out. Like, I think the Raiders can pull an upset. Like I think the Chargers can pull an upset against the Ravens if you consider that an upset. But man, I don't know about that Arizona game. I'm not so sure they beat the Browns, and I don't know if any of you guys watched the film last week against San Fran. Arizona really didn't look all that great. If Lance gets that touchdown, if he gets just another inch when he was scrambling, I think San Fran comes back and wins that game. I'm not just saying it because the Cardinals surprised me, but I mean, Trey Lance was a touchdown, was an inch away from making that a 3-point game, and that Cardinals offense wasn't cooking in the second half against the 49ers. They weren't. I mean, the Browns defense is a whole different story, but all right, let's get to the next question. This is from Jelani Adel. Let's get paid Sunday. We will. The best gambling show on the internet. Lawson has go. Oh, I thought there was a question. Appreciate it. This is from Blago. Hello, Mr. Moneymaker. What do you think about this teaser? Chiefs pick 'em. Love it. Chargers plus 9.5. Love it. Cardinals plus 10.5. Love it. Yeah, that Cardinals one is really good now that Nick Chubb's out. That is one way you can work the Cardinals in if you really feel like you need to bet them and get in on this bandwagon. Nick Chubb out. It makes it, listen. Nick Chubb is the best player on the Browns offense. He is, and he's the one who makes the offense go. Kareem Hunt's going to have a good game, but Arizona is not going to lose by more than a touchdown that game. Yeah, dude, I know the feeling, Bob. Jesus, Jimmy G, man. One second. Mac Jama. That Colts +7 was a brave bet last week. So was the San Fran +5.5, even though it didn't materialize. Your logic is always spot on. Let's make some money this weekend. Thank you, Mac. Thank you, Mac. Yeah, the 49ers one wasn't a bad bet. I will get on here and I will tell you when I made a bad bet. Like when I put on Jets week 1. That was a bad bet. That was about, I think I made 2 bad bets this whole year. Sometimes they're not going to go, but you have to trust your fundamentals because long term you will make money if the fundamentals are good. Raiders +4 or money line against this suspect Broncos defense. Danny, I like the Raiders +4. Um, Even if it's parlay, like I understand you might want to throw on the Raiders upset on a parlay if that's what you were doing. But normally I bet straight out, and you guys know the only time I like working in parlays is with the teaser. Uh, but let's look at this game. We don't know what Raiders we're going to get, and when we're betting, and when 10K on this just came out of the corner of my eye. 10K on Syracuse, 13.5. That's bold. I watch Syracuse. They're terrible. Okay, let me get back to the question. That kind of threw me off. When I'm looking at this Raiders game, I feel more comfortable at the +4 because we don't know what we're going to get. And anyone who's betting this Raiders game who says they can see what's coming, they can't. We don't know what Raiders we're going to see. The only thing I'm banking on is them running the ball. And I think you can really run it against the Broncos. That's why I like the +4. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if the Raiders find a way to lose this game by a field goal. But I love the +4. It was one I was considering. This is a super chat from Dante Brown. Thank you, Dante. Have you ever gave Vegas points on a teaser? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Last year, I don't know if you guys remember, but last year, I did. Last year, the Patriots, it was earlier in the year. It was when I was in Brazil when the channel was first picking up steam. The Patriots were at the Broncos with Cam Newton. Cam Newton came off a good game against Drew Lock and the Broncos. The Broncos were +9.5 at home, maybe +8 at home. I just put the Broncos straight up on the parlay, but also I did do a teaser where I teased it down the Broncos +3. Broncos ended up winning the game. Then the channel finally took off. Thank you, bro. I got to check out that Syracuse one because I think they're playing Clemson. I was thinking about going to the game with my dad, but we never make it out there. Yeah, LMM, you understood what I was trying to say. I try to give the Patreon subscribers as much advice as possible and you guys as much advice as possible, but no one ever wants to hear stay away from this game. I think I gave a perfect analysis for Tampa Bay and the Eagles last night too. I told you to just stay away from it. Let's put it on the teaser. Let's keep our head up and let's keep swimming this weekend. There's plenty of meat. Like we're sitting at a buffet and the steak's coming out 4 for $5, but yet you guys want to bet everything on the French fries. No, I'm waiting for the steak. I'm waiting for the filet mignon to come out. I'm waiting for them to cut a good piece of chicken. Yes, I will roll the dice, maybe bet on a few fried chickens here and there, but no, I'm patient. I'm waiting for the steak. I'm waiting for that A-grade steak, them cutting it off hot, and that's what I'm waiting for. That's what I like to gamble on. I feel like the Raiders and Broncos is us just betting on French fries, which I do see the logic of Raiders +4 though. I do see the logic. But if I didn't have so much to bet on this weekend, it would be on the Patreon, just due to fundamentals. But it's not going to be there. This is from Nick. Thinking of doing this money line parlay, Lawson. I need your thoughts. Chiefs, yep. Bengals, love it. Cowboys, love it. Vikings, Browns, I like it, but Vikings and Browns are where you're starting to get dangerous, my friend. Nick Chubb out. That is kind of making me reevaluate this Arizona Browns game on the fly. Michael Mann just sent me a message on Instagram telling me Chubb was out 5 minutes before I went live. So there's that. And let me get my phone, though. Let me get my phone because there could be some new news breaking. So I never want to be caught off guard. Okay. Got my phone. All right. One sec. Okay. Yeah, so Chubb's out and it's confirmed. It is completely confirmed. So I'm doing a special video about the Vikings Carolina game. I'm going to just do a solo video on that, but I absolutely love it. But take out the Vikings because even though I am leaning towards my Minnesota Vikings winning, you have to understand both Carolina and the Vikings have been disastrous on offense. It's not because they're not moving the ball. Both offenses are moving the ball, but they make stupid decisions. Both have a lot of turnovers. Both have a lot of penalties, and both offensive lines and quarterbacks make me nervous. So I like your philosophy, and I'm leaning towards Minnesota. It's just I think you can add and substitute another team on that last one. Okay, let me get to the next question. This is from Alan Corrales. Hello, Mr. Lawson. Do you think the Chiefs will cover -7 even with Clyde Edwards-Helaire injury? Yeah, I do. And the thing no one is talking about this weekend about the Chiefs, no one is talking about this Chiefs defense. We know they suck. And I think they know they suck. After what Josh Allen did to them Sunday night, I think we need to talk about the Chiefs defense. And Spagnuolo is a good defensive coordinator. I've seen him do a lot of good work with a lot of poor defenses. He has to do better. He just has to. And they have to stop getting pumped with deep balls. But they're facing the right guy this week to get right. They are facing Taylor Heinicke. And every week I get on here and tell you guys, Taylor Heinicke does not have any potential. I don't even know if he's a legit number 2 in this league. And did I mention the kid's a turnover machine? The Chiefs will get right this week. You can talk about Mahomes. You can talk about Tyreek the Thrill Hill. But I'm not using that as the analysis for this game. Everyone's misconstrued about that. I think this Chiefs defense steps up. I think they get a better pass rush. I think this Washington team is sleepwalking. Look at their defensive line. They got one of the best defensive lines on the league in paper. Yeah, they can't generate pressure. If you double team Chase Young, they cannot get pressure on you, and they have no creativity. They'll just sit back in a soft zone all day and rush 4, and then they can't cover anyone. This is a bad Washington football team. And a lot of you guys didn't ride with me last week. I don't know how many other ways I could explain for you guys to bet the Saints last week. I tried talking about the Saints defense. Hell, I even tried to throw some stats at you guys. I told you guys Taylor Heinicke isn't a starting quarterback in the league. I don't know what other ways I could have painted that picture. And some of us aren't getting off Washington. And we got to get off teams when they don't show us any evidence. And Washington's one of those teams. Just because they beat the Falcons doesn't mean Washington can compete with the Chiefs. Washington has low talent level, and they're not getting good coaching. Talk to me once they start getting a little bit better coaching and if they get a decent quarterback in there. Because, Dwayne Haskins was garbage, but Taylor Heinicke's getting a pass. And I don't understand why. This is a super chat from Revenant. All week, I hear Baltimore, 4th in rushing offense. San Diego, dead last in rushing defense. But no one talked about San Diego, 3rd best passing offense. Baltimore, 30th best passing D. Watch Monday Night Football. Indy's wide receivers open all night and minimal pressure on Wentz. Yeah, they can't get a pass rush. They cannot get a pass rush. You saw how much Matt Judon improved the Patriots pass rush. Matt Judon's not all that great, but there aren't a lot of dogs in this league who will give you a legit speed rush with good instinct. And that's what the Ravens are missing. They got Calais in the interior, but who else on that D-line scares you? Who else on that D-line can win one-on-one battles? If you're able to control Calais in the interior, I think you can throw it against them. But also sometimes it is deceiving, the rush stats. For me, though, I think you can pound San Diego, LA, but LA is going to be different. I think LA will stop the run. I think they're going to put Derwin James in the box. Lately, they've been playing passing teams. I know the Browns aren't a passing team, but the LA Chargers have been scared of the pass. They did play KC a few weeks back, so they've been keeping Derwin James deep with the other safety. This game, though, Derwin James is going to be in that box, and Derwin James is one of the best defensive players in this league. So I think Derwin James will be an X factor on that read option for Lamar. So I'm just adding to your comment because I think your comment is legit. And I don't like using rankings. You should know with your eye test if a team's going to get pounded by another team. Like Detroit's defense has better stats than the Chargers, for instance. Does that mean Detroit's defense is better? No. Does that mean you can't pound Detroit? No. That's just an example. All right, let me get to the Patreon questions. We're working through them. Thanks for the energy tonight, guys. Thanks for the questions. If I miss them, I'm getting back to them. I'm going to get to the YouTube questions. Just going to work through these Patreon first. We got some good ones on Patreon tonight. They're going hard. Aaron Hernandez, Mr. Lawson. What do you think of the Bills? Like the Bills, Cowboys money line, like the Cowboys money line, Raiders +4. I like the Raiders +4, but is there something we could add differently here? Like there has to be a game we can substitute for the Raiders +4, unless you have a really good feeling. Sometimes with my fans and subscribers, especially the ones who've been here over a year, I try to be cautious about the Raiders for you guys, just due to the fact that the Raiders won us so much money last year. Like someone threw out a stat on the comment section last week. They said we were like 8-2 on Raiders money picks last year. So we have to understand when to get off a team. And I think maybe this week we should just sit it out on the Raiders. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think the Raiders do cover the +4. But I think there's other meat coming out on this buffet. Kyle R. I've been cashing in with 13-point parlays. Yeah, my friend Marty, the guy, the gambling sharp who retired in Belize, he likes betting 13-point parlays. That's Marty's thing. I did have a conversation with him this week. This week I have Dallas +10. I like it. Chargers +15.5. I like it. Chiefs +6.5. I like it. Bills +7.5. Yeah, that's going to hit. So Kyle's question is, my question is, what unit would you rate this play? Well, I bet real money. I don't bet units. But to get a significant payout on that, you're going to have to bet $300, $400, $500. And I don't know if the payout would be that good. I've never done a 13.1. We're hitting the 7 points at a very good rate. Like last year we hit a lot. This year we're hitting a lot. I don't see the necessary need, but I love that teaser. But make sure you back that up with real money though. Because if you're putting $50, $100 on that bad boy's not going to produce. But if you're putting like $500, $700 on that, I would honestly put $1,000 on that. Because that's going to hit. I just think it's going to hit. Not trying to give anyone advice. I don't want anyone doing anything crazy. I normally 70% of the money I bet is just on single games, spread, or money line. This is from Stully. Looking for a 2-team parlay on each of the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games to get that cash. Also, do you offer up college bets? No, I don't watch enough college. I watch NFL religiously, though. That's why I think my analysis is better than others, because I try to watch a lot of film. I try to watch as much film as humanly possible. Okay, one sec. Okay. I'm just making sure I'm not missing any super chats. I appreciate your guys being very generous with me. I appreciate you guys subscribing on the Patreon. I really appreciate it because you guys are the reason why I have time to watch the film. Like, I don't blame some of these other YouTube guys for trying to throw out the stats because when you have to work a real job 40 hours a week, that takes time. You know, and I have a girlfriend who understands, like, yeah, I'm gonna watch a lot of sports, and she really doesn't care. So yeah, that's why I'm able to have the time. Time is money, man. And with these people working 40, 50 hours a week, that's why they just come in and throw out stats. They don't really have any understanding of the game. This is from Wanda. Wanda, you're the best. Thank you, Wanda. I appreciate it. $5 from Wanda. I appreciate it. Wanda, did you ever follow me on Instagram? Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. And dude, it's not me being rude to you guys. When you guys send a message on Instagram, sometimes the messages go to the private inbox and I don't see them and I have to go looking for them. So it's not me being rude. I try to answer you guys. I don't use Instagram a whole lot. I'm using it more though. Because sometimes I like seeing some of the stuff you guys are doing too. Let's get to another Patreon question. Brian DePaul, keep up the great work. Thank you, Brian. How do you feel about the Browns now with Chubb being out? Who gets the extra reps? It's all Kareem Hunt. And Kareem Hunt's an absolute beast. But this offensive line is more of a bully offensive line. They like running between the tackles. I am curious to see what the Browns offensive scheme will be like. We know Baker and Odell, they just can't get going. Jarvis Landry, he's still injured. I think he's going to be out whenever he comes back. That's going to help the Browns more than anything. But yeah, without Chubb being out, I think this opens up the chance for the Cardinals to win. Because I didn't see the Cardinals winning before. But once I saw that Nick Chubb news, I really feel like there could be a Cardinals win here. Because this Cardinals front's good. Like, Chandler Jones is probably going to be out, correct? But some of you guys count people out on Tuesday and Wednesday, then they end up playing. Like, someone was trying to school me about Teddy Bridgewater last week, and I just said in a comment, bro, I think he plays. And he ended up playing. So don't count people out too early, but I think Chandler Jones is counted out. Nick Chubb is counted out. That changes the game. But this Arizona front seven is pretty stingy against the run game. The way I would attack Arizona is I would try to spread them out and work their secondary. Although they're tackling really good in open field right now, it is surprising me. But I think with Chandler Jones out, you'll get more time to scan the field. And I think the Browns could exploit that. I think they'll have to throw more because Kareem Hunt's good, but we know he's not Nick Chubb, especially between the tackles. All right, let's get to the next question. This is from Cole C. I know who this guy is. He's a really nice guy. Chiefs win and cover with an over. Are you talking over for the game or over for the Chiefs? I don't like the over-under in this Chiefs game. I really like the under. I put it on the teaser, but I added 10 points to it. I think this Chiefs-Washington game has less points than people think. I did go on a rant earlier, but to make a long story short, yes, I think the Chiefs offense is good, but I don't know how much they're going to need to do because I think we're going to see a rejuvenation or renaissance, so to speak, out of this Chiefs Spagnuolo defense. That's where I'm at with it. Let me reload the Patreon questions to make sure I didn't miss any, and then I'm going to get to the YouTube. Okay. It looks like I got some more, so it's always good I go back and check. Okay, let me make sure I get to your question. Yo, what's up, Jacob Doherty? Yeah, Colin show started now. Chiefs defense does look scary, Eduardo. It does. Eduardo says I have a 2-pick teaser. Tampa Bay -1, Chiefs -5. Yeah, that's what we did that one earlier this year. It's sometimes you don't have to make this overly complicated. Okay, let me get to this question from Tasha. Since Tasha was in here first, Tua, Miami is back. Do you think the Jags will win and go over in London? I think the Jags win and cover. I don't know about going over. What's the team total? Are you betting the team total or the whole game? The whole game, I don't have a good vibe on. But for the Jags, I think they go over their team total. I think their team total was like 20 and a half. Dolphins are giving up tons of points. And I think the Jags, Urban Meyer's finally going to have his say. A $20 super chat from Daniel. I appreciate it. I really appreciate the generosity. John, you're the man. Question. Jags or Chicago this week for a reach play? Jags. Like, listen, I like Chicago in Soldier Field with the +5. And I think if you just did fundamentals, you would lean towards that game. But is it just me? Or are you guys feeling something out of the Jags and Lawrence? Listen, go watch that Tennessee game. First drive from the Jags. Lawrence completes a flat in the pass in the flat. Tight end doesn't even take a stop. Gets hit as soon as he catches it. They call a fumble. It wasn't a fumble. And then Titans returned it for a touchdown. Jags have been making stupid plays, but they've also been getting bad luck. But I think this defense will love seeing Tua. The Jags are getting a pass rush. Everyone forgets Josh Allen was like one of the nastiest defensive linemen we've seen coming out of college. Now, he's not having the career we thought he would, but neither is Chase Young. It doesn't mean Chase Young and Josh Allen aren't dominant. They can change games, and I think he will. And I don't think Tua adds much. I think Brissett is better than people think. Like, for instance, Brissett is better than Taylor Heineke. But Brissett doesn't have like a good backstory, a good lore, and Brissett's older, so you can't hype him up and look into the future as much. You guys know what I'm saying? With Tua, I think you guys should follow the Dolphins organization when it comes to Tua. You guys can follow me, but I've been trying to scream to you guys from the top of a loudspeaker that Tua will be a bust. This man isn't physically good enough for the league. I don't think he's mentally good enough. And also, do you guys notice how small he looks on the field? He just looks way too small. Way too small, and he's running read option, and we wonder why he's always hurt. He wasn't the same after he did that hip injury at Alabama. And I think it's time to move on. I think it's Lawrence's time. And you guys know me. I've been telling you the Jags are getting better. And I've been making that a point ever since before that Cincinnati game. Yes, they ended up blowing the Cincinnati game. But did Lawrence play good? Yeah, he did. Lawrence just keeps getting better, and at least he has two receivers to pump it to. He's got Shenault. He's got Marvin Jones. Now, I know Chenault's not a top 15 receiver in the league, and neither is Marvin Jones, but those are guys you can rely upon, and you got a Miami defense that can't stop anyone. And giving up a lot of points to the Buccaneers is one thing, but giving up a lot of points to, the Colts is another thing. At home, getting thrashed by a Colts offense. They can't cover anyone, and I think Lawrence pumps it. I think Lawrence gets going, and I think Lawrence makes more plays than Tua. And this is a similar matchup. I'll give you guys a similar matchup. Remember last week, Panthers, Eagles. Seemed like everyone was on the Panthers. But I told you guys there was a reason why I picked Eagles +3.5. I just feel like Hurts was going to make more plays than Darnold. And you got to feel like it in this game. I mean, who would you rather ride with? I don't even know if we need these +3 from the Jags. I'm not trying to be too verbose. I'm not trying to sell pie in the sky, but I don't even know if we need the +3. I don't know. But one thing I do know, the Jags offense will play good, and this defense is showing signs. I'm not saying they're ready yet, but at least they got Tua coming in with a banged-up Devontae Parker. They got a puncher's chance, and they should win it, really. When is Urban going to win a game? And after his wife, looking at him in the bar with the lady. It's just not good luck, and he's got to come out and win. Anyways, this is from Revenant, 7-point teaser. Chargers plus 9.5. I like it. Chargers in Baltimore over 44. I like it. Arizona plus 10.5. I like it. Houston plus 17. I don't know, bro. Like, it is dangerous. And I've been putting Houston on a lot of teasers and they've been hitting, but be careful. And Jacksonville plus 10. I love it. It's just look at that Houston one. The fundamentals are good for it. And the fundamentals have helped us this year with Houston. But dude, that's an awful bad team to bat. It just is. Here we go. I'm going to get to the YouTube questions now. I've got a lot to make up, but let's do it. I'm going to just use the bathroom, get another Diet Pepsi. I'll be right back. Hit the like button, subscribe while you guys are waiting. I'll be right back. Sounds good. All right, guys, I'm back. So, anyways, man, I'm doing good. I'm good. It's okay. It's all good. I was late to the show too. I was like 10 minutes late today. All right, I'm going to get to the questions. Just leave your questions again. And then also some of your questions, it doesn't show me because I use a different streaming platform. So it just sends in top comments. So sometimes it won't show me your comment. So just send it again or rephrase it. Cowboys to win in the cover from Nikisha. I agree. Um, yeah. Ooh, eh. It could be a one possession game. It really could be. I'm hoping it's not, but that is one thing I'm thinking about for Patreon tonight. That extra half a point from Cincinnati has been something I've been thinking about all year. Dude, Ertz to Cards. What, Cardinals traded for Zach Ertz? Someone confirm if that happened. There's a lot of awful play calling in this league. I completely agree. Yeah, Steve, I think the Jags always playing in London is an advantage because it is a long trip. It's not a trip I like. Like, listen, I like this side of the world. Like, I like being in the United States, Brazil. I like being on this side of the world. I don't like going over there. The food isn't all that good. Like, I like Portugal and Spain. The food's really good there. The people are really good. Weather's good. There, it rains every day, man. And I just don't like it. And NFL teams have had problems. Like, dude, like even bringing like toilet paper because the toilet paper is different. And NFL players were complaining. There's a lot of little intricacies to playing there. And NFL teams like Jags, like for instance, the Jags will bring their whole food. The Jags will just completely bring food. Like they'll bring steaks, they'll bring everything there because they know like the players just don't like eating there and it makes people pissed off. Um, yeah, and it just makes people pissed off either way. Um, but I think the Jags will deal with it better. And then also the Jags owner, he owns a soccer club right in London. So I mean, I think it'll help. Brother John, do you think the Cardinals will lose to the Browns or not? Um, this game, I think they will lose, but now I honestly don't know. I was leaning towards the Browns all week, but with Nick Chubb out, I guess I send the question right back to you because right now I think it's favoring the Cardinals. I mean, I don't think I'm being melodramatic, right? Am I being melodramatic that you take Nick Chubb off the Browns and it's not the same unit? Even though we know Kareem Hunt can ball, it's just not the same unit. It's not the same team. It just isn't. Browns line now at 3.5. I didn't see it there. I actually saw it moving down more than up. Yeah, it's at 3. It's at 3 everywhere, bro. If you're getting it for 3.5, don't do it. Bet NGM, WinBet, Caesar Sportsbook, FanDuel, everyone has it at -3. Do not pay 3.5 for it. If you're on my bookie and it's 3.5, wait because eventually you'll get it for 3. No, 3.5 is too much for that. Way too much. I'm not trying to spurg out about a half a point, but it's just way too much. I stay off Chang. I have to be an expert in something if I'm going to bet it. Too much Brazilian soccer and NFL to watch. And thank you guys, 200 people in here. We finally broke that threshold. Make sure you guys hit the like button. I think Sammy Watkins being out is huge for the Ravens. I think people who discount Sammy Watkins' skill are dumb. You even see the Chiefs missing him, especially his aerial ability. So yeah, because listen, we know what the Chargers are going to do. The Chargers, they're going to load up the box. They're going to put 8, 9 men in the box, and they're going to try to stop Lamar, and they're going to try to stop Mark Andrews. That's why you always see Hollywood Brown, Sammy Watkins, wide open on play action, deep passes. That's one of the main elements of the Ravens. When people think of the Ravens, they think of running the football and Lamar Jackson going wild. Okay, fine. But when I think of the play action, when I think of the Ravens, I think of play action, pumping the ball deep and getting big plays. I think of Lamar getting 30, 50, 60-yard rushes. I think of the Ravens as a team that is built for chunk plays, but the Chargers are too. That's why this game's so hard to predict because these are two of the biggest playmaking teams in the league in terms of size of play. Yeah, I think Sammy Watkins being out has a huge effect. It has a huge effect. Julio, Granite Stone, Jones to play Monday night. That will help the Titans, but are you seeing the Titans being able to hang with the Bills? It's not really about the Titans offense, but this Titans offense isn't in full rhythm, isn't in full capabilities, and Ryan Tannehill is extremely overrated. But this Titans offense still hasn't found its stride with a new OC. And then you're looking at the Titans defense and bros, they're and ladies and gentlemen, they're not going to be able to limit Josh Allen pumping that thing deep. And they don't have the pass rush to bother him. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've watched 3 full games of the Titans this year, and I haven't seen a pass rush. And I haven't seen Mike Vrabel making any sort of adjustments. And this has been a theme with the Titans. Even when they had Jadeveon Clowney, they kept getting hit with deep ball after deep ball after deep ball. We know that is a blueprint, the milieu of Mike Vrabel, so to speak. But Mike Vrabel is a guy you just can't count on. Can't count on him. I agree, Miss Soul. When I was making this spread, I put it at Cowboys -5. That was my opening, so to speak, when I handicapped it. So I gotta agree with you there. Um, here we go. I use vegasinsider.com. So I can see every single line movement, every single line for any big casino. So I pretty much know where we're at. And I got really mad one day because I uploaded the Vegas spreads like 3 weeks ago. And someone thought I was like sandbagging with a spread when he was actually wrong about the spread. So I'm pretty up to date with the spreads. I mean, some people complain, but I picked the games Tuesday. I can't see the future. Some people get mad about that. And some people judge me and sometimes on Tuesday, I don't know if a quarterback's going to be injured. So obviously, I wouldn't bet a game if the second stringer's in. Sometimes people can't use their head. Zamora says, what percentage confidence level do you have in the Jags beating the Dolphins? Like 80%. But nothing's definitive in this league. I'm just really sure about this Jags Dolphins game this week. It's a weird game to be sure on, right? It really is. And I'm one of the people who I actually like Brian Flores. Like, I think Brian Flores is a good coach, but I'm also seeing some of the stuff out of the Dolphins, and I'm not understanding what the hell he's doing. Maybe a Dolphins fan can come in on here today and explain. I know we have quite a few Dolphin subscribers. They don't comment too much anymore. Here we go. Let's get to some questions. Eduardo Martinez, Steelers plus 10.5, a good idea. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. I would, if you want to tease the game, I would go the other direction on the Seahawks. Like, I know I was a little bit concerned when I saw DK Metcalf was on the injury report, but I don't think that's going to play too big a factor. Like, I think DK Metcalf will play, and I think he'll play good. So I don't see that affecting the game or changing it too much. But no, I wouldn't go the other way on the Steelers. I would go with the Seahawks on that one. I like the Steelers, and I really liked them last week against Denver, but still there are too many problems there. And I think Geno Smith's going to play better than people think. Can you say Darnold? You guys want me to say Darnold like that? Like, Skull the Dirtbag. How do you categorize your bets? And do you do the same types of bets each week? No, I don't do the same types of bets this week. How do I categorize my bets? Well, I'll try to explain it. I do the teaser every week, the teaser parlay video that I post every week. I do that. And I'll tell you guys if I'm leaving off a game. Sometimes I'll give you guys an alternative game if you don't like one of mine. But I'm pretty clear with the teaser on the video what I bet. Even last year was doing it that way. We hit a lot. But most of my bets, probably 70 to 80%, are spread bets. 10% are money lines. 10% are teasers. Do a few futures. Also bet a lot of soccer. I like betting the Asian handicap in soccer. It's kind of like the NFL point spread, but for soccer. I'm surprised some of you guys take a long time to understand it, but you guys will understand it. So yeah, that's the situation. 2 Super Bowl futures. Haven't thought about it, but let me think about it. I'll get back to you. Mr. Thielen, Jefferson, Cook, Madison, all busted up. Are you on Carolina? Well, Thielen's going to play. Jefferson's going to play. Dalvin Cook will probably play. Madison, I don't think he's all that hurt. I don't think it. I think all these players are going to play. I'm more worried about Kirk Cousins. I'm not worried about the skill positions. The skill positions are always good for Minnesota. Like, even without Dalvin Cook, Madison has been phenomenal these last 2 games. But yeah, I'll have to. I looked at the injury report. It seems as if all are going to play. They might hold Dalvin Cook out, but I am pretty sure all will play, unless you heard something different. Thanks for the comment, Carrie. Let me read these so everyone knows. So I gotta get a little bit of a I got to get a little bit of liquid. My mouth's going dry. One sec. Okay, here we go. Out for this weekend: Nick Chubb, Curtis Samuel, Sammy Watkins, Xavier Howard. Xavier Howard really helps us because the Dolphins already have problems in the secondary as it is. They can't cover anyone without Xavier Howard for sure. Devontae Parker's out. Rodrigo Blankenship's out. McCaffrey's out again. When's McCaffrey going to play? I don't think he's ever going to play again. Chris Carson, Russell America Wilson, Saquon Barkley, Kenny Galladay, Juju. Daniel Jones is playing, right? I think we saw that news today. They're definitely going to need him. Dude, chill with this like webcam stuff. Black user. Yeah, like someone posting that webcam junk in YouTube. Yeah, maybe, Derek. Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. Here we go. What's a good anytime touchdown play for anyone this week? Pat Mahomes. Joe Mixon if he plays. Lots of guys. I want to get you one with good odds though, so I'd have to think about it. Yeah, Juju's out for the year. That's huge for the Steelers. I'm not feeling the under in the Vikings Panthers only because I think this game's going to be really close in the fourth quarter. I'm leaning towards under, but I think most of the money is going to flow towards under as well. And both of these offenses, the confusing thing about the Minnesota-Carolina game is that both of these offenses, they're putting up lots of yards. They're just not putting up points. So take that for what you want it to be. But if yards equaled points, the Atlanta Falcons would have 5 Super Bowl rings by now, but they don't. So you have to put up points. So that's why I like the under in it, but I'm not betting it. I'm not ultra confident about it either. Yeah, I like the under all week. Go check out my over-under video. I'm pretty sure I had that as a money pick on there. I really like the under in it. The under is looking better now with Nick Chubb out. Thank you, DJ Carter. Thank you, DJ. Appreciate it. Shepard playing for the Giants. That should help. But they're absolutely fucked if Mike Glennon starts. I'm just telling you guys that. Here we go. I'm going to get to some questions. I don't know if that Rams one's a lock because that's a lot of points on the road. I saw someone ask that question. What's up, Lauren? Seattle has had 3 extra days rest. Yeah, I think it helps, especially, dude, Lauren, like I think we were talking about on Instagram this week. Gino hasn't played in a long time, and I'm not trying to sell anyone a used car and say Gino's going to come in here and like play good and there's some sort of rejuvenation. But, you got DK Metcalf, you got Tyler Lockett, you got a decent run game. You got to think they do something. And Geno Smith can't do a whole lot, but one thing he can do is roll out right and throw deep. And that's the one thing he does that's decent in this league. And if you can do that, you got a fighter's chance. I think, and I'm not, and like you guys are excited about the Steelers run game, man, I want to be excited about it because I want them to help Big Ben out, because I think Big Ben has taken too much criticism these last 3 years, especially with how this offensive line and run game has just completely disappeared. They just want ghosts. They're like Casper, and they're not there anymore. They're non-functional. The offensive line is non-functional at this point. So the Steelers got to do something. It's possible, man, but I don't think so. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, like it's good you guys disagree on the Steelers, but you guys should come on and tell me why. You guys can come on the call-in show. No, I don't think Geno's never really had the chance to be a game manager. Because when he was with the Jets, they didn't really stop anyone. Um, just because he had Rex Ryan as a head coach, it didn't mean the defense was good. It certainly wasn't during that period. But yeah, Geno Smith is a turnover machine. We know that. But that's also because he has balls and he'll throw it deep. To go win in Heinz Field, to go cover against the Steelers, you need a quarterback with balls and you need to make some big plays. And one thing people forget about the Steelers is they don't have that many playmakers. They really don't. Like, for instance, like I wouldn't call Juju Smith a playmaker, even when healthy, but they don't got him. So Big Ben's really doesn't have too many elite athletes, elite dogs to rely upon. The defense has some dogs. The defense has some elite athletes, but not on offense. Seattle's got more playmakers on offense than you guys. All you guys got is Big Ben, and he needs people around him. I like Najee Harris too, but I think you guys miss my analysis with the O-line. And I think that's one reason why Big Ben takes more criticism than he deserves, because people don't want to look at that O-line and how bad it is. They just don't. No, Terry, I don't like the over in the Lions game. I think this Lions offense struggles. They really struggle. And I think the Bengals show up really focused this game. Yeah, Lockett and Metcalf deep, those are X factors. That's excellence in this league. Those two. You have to get the ball to them. And Mike Tomlin always has good game plans. Mike Tomlin defense going in Heinz Field isn't easy. But man, Pittsburgh's got to make some plays on offense too, right? And if they don't run the ball really well, where are the points coming from? I mean, if they're able to protect for Big Ben, I still think he has enough options to work it, but I don't think they're going to protect him. Steelers really, I mean, Seahawks defense has been a disaster as well, but I think they get right this game. Yeah, Brian, I'll listen to it. Once I see it, I'll answer it. Who's the playmakers? Who's the playmakers on offense? Like, who's the game breaker? Yeah, like I think and here's the whole thing. Like the analysis when you when you do analysis for Steelers games, like we know their defense is going to come up clutch and their defense is going to be pretty good, but we got a lot of questions on that offense. Seattle doesn't rush the passer well either, but I've seen the Steelers giving up very, very easy pass rushes, and Big Ben hasn't been protected so far this year, in my opinion. Yeah, dude, you never want to count out Big Ben. Like, I think people were counting out Big Ben too much. That's why I was with the Steelers last week. But also, you have to remember, like, the Broncos don't have a lot of explosion. The Seahawks have more explosion than the Broncos. That I think we can all agree there. Even with Geno Smith, I think the Seahawks offense has more explosion. Like Jerry Jeudy is nasty, Cortland Sutton is nasty, but you have Teddy Bridgewater who won't throw over 10 yards, so you can't really use him. But Geno Smith, at least if you tell him to chuck it deep, he's going to chuck it deep. Hold up. Okay, here we go. I couldn't even see your teaser, Gabe. Yeah, I haven't really seen it. We got 214 in here right now. Appreciate it, guys. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I want to get a guest on now. Think I think Michael I want to see if Michael Mann. I haven't seen him yet. Here we go. I want to see if Lauren wants to come on. I'm gonna send her. We'll see if she wants to come on. Yeah. Okay, we got another super chat. This is from Revenant. Any thoughts on teasing Sunday Night Football Seattle Pitt? No, bro, that's dangerous. Bro, that's dangerous. Okay, he's asking me this. He wants to tease the over under in Seattle, Pittsburgh. He wants to tease it down to 35 and a half. And you can submit questions through Patreon. Normally, I'll leave like the thread, like I'll leave Thursday or Wednesday night. I'll start a thread. I'll say live call-in show 4:30, and I'll say leave your question. Then you just leave it in that thread if you understand. But yeah, dude, I think that's a bit dangerous because there is a possibility one of these offenses doesn't show up, and the only way for this game to go under 35 is if one offense doesn't show up. If they have a Jets performance and they score like 3 or 10 points or no points at all, like we saw the Jets do this year. So that's the only thing that can kill you on it. I would stay away from it, but I do like the rationale. Okay. And thank you for the super chat, my friend. There isn't a whole lot of Seahawks explosion this year, but one thing DK Metcalf is legit and Tyler Lockett is legit. They're legit deep threats. So the Seahawks at least are able to move the ball and can make big plays. Like I've seen Seahawks always are top 10 in the league in big plays ever since they've gotten Metcalf, but I'll check on that. But I always fear Seahawks throwing the ball deep. Now, I don't fear a lot out of the Seahawks. I think their offense is overrated every year. But one thing I do fear is their deep ball game. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, September. Appreciate it. Princegram. All dogs in the PM window. Raiders, Cards, Pats. Pats. Can someone come on here? Here's what I wanted all week. Here's what I really wanted all week. I've gotten a lot of comments every single week saying I'm wrong for betting against the Patriots, but no one ever comes on and tells me why. I'm really genuinely curious why you guys want to bet the Patriots this week. Like, is it just instinct? Is it just inertia? I honestly am at this point where I think people should bet the Patriots out of inertia. Like for instance, I was talking to someone who's really good at who understands football, doesn't bet. I was just telling them about the Patriots spread, and he was just puzzled because he doesn't really gamble, and he was wondering, dude, why do these people keep betting the Patriots? How do they keep putting out these lines? They were even putting out ridiculous lines last year with the Patriots, like. Remember last year against the Dolphins, I had to come on and make a separate video because it was a college fun game to bet Miami. And you guys know I don't do that too often, but I had to fight so much Bill Belichick love that I feel like my viewers were missing the message. This is a college fun game. You're only going to have 5 or 6 college fun games a year. You know, there's a lot of people on the internet, they'll say I was 13-0 last week, betting 200K on every game. Everything I bet is a lot. No, that's not reality. That's just a hustle. The reality is you're going to get 5 or 6, 7 games that are locks a year. You're going to get 5 or 6, 7 college fun games. I don't even like calling them locks. I like calling them college fun games because you got to dip into the kids' college fun, maybe pawn the wife's wedding ring. You need to get as much money on that game as you can, and you can't miss those opportunities. And when those opportunities arise, I don't like seeing people miss out on them because I'm never wrong. When I get to that point where I have to make a separate video because I just want you guys to take the free money, that's when you know it's a college fun game. I will be doing a separate video this week for Minnesota and Carolina, but it's not a college fun game. It's just because some people were asking for it. So, I'm not saying the Cowboys wants a college fun game, but it's close. It's close. It's good enough to make the Patreon probably. You'll have to log on to the Patreon to see though. Haven't decided. I'm still deciding on 7 bets. Probably I'll post 5 because I don't want to bet all 7. I literally just post everything I bet. And sometimes on Patreon, people get mad if I post money lines. Like I bet big money on the Chiefs money line this year, Buccaneers money line, and people get mad and say, "Oh, that's not handicapping." Well, no, it's free money, and I'm going to make the bet if it's free money. I just post my bets. Most of them are spread, but yeah, I will put 5K down on the money line. Yes, I did have a big bet money line for the Buccaneers last night. Do I feel bad about it? No. Was it easy? Yeah. Do I feel bad about it? No. You guys can go chase that spread on Thursday night. I wanted nothing to do with it. My analysis was perfect. I told you exactly what would happen in that game and why I didn't like it. So, yeah. Why do you think it's strange? Washington is plus 6.5 with Casey. Isn't that strange? I think it is a little bit, but bettors really like Washington. And we really liked Washington during the preseason. Then Fitzpatrick got hurt and people just couldn't adjust. It is almost kind of like the Patriots. Like you're seeing how long it takes bettors and even the bookies to adjust to the Patriots without Tom Brady. Like look at how people just are really slow to adjust. And that's where we're at with it. We liked the Washington team a lot when they had Fitzpatrick, but it's a completely different car now. You know, it's not the same. It's not the same buy-in. It just isn't. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? I saw you in Las Vegas. I hope you had a good time, my man. Okay. Lauren, I'm going to send it in your email right now. Thank you. Yeah, so we're going to get a guest on. Let's get Lauren on. And if you want to come in, hit me up on Instagram. I'll get you guys on. And even if you disagree with me, I always like getting people on. Okay, let's get to my Gmail, and I appreciate you guys. While you're waiting, make sure you hit that like button. I want to see at least 200 likes when I leave it. Okay, I'm sending her another one. Okay, let's get to. Sorry about this. This is why I need to hire someone to work the studio to send me the questions because it's just a bitch. Okay. 1 second, guys. Sending it now. 1 sec. Okay. Sent. Okay. Let me get to some questions. Okay. The brain in my gut is smarter than the one in my head. Sometimes people overthink stuff. Sometimes people overthink stuff a lot. Like when they say, oh, Teddy Bridgewater's like 10-2 at 4:00 games against the spread. Like, okay, I get it, but Dig Dog 22. Do you think the Raiders are going to be ready to play their best game of the year, or is there too many distractions? There's too many distractions, and Gruden is a good play caller in this league. I know some of you guys don't like his coaching, but Gruden's a really good play caller in this league. They're going to take a step back in terms of play calling, and that's really going to hurt the offense, and I think it's going to hurt Carr. But when we're talking about the Raiders, at least they can run the ball. And I think the NFL wants them to win this game. I think they'll get a good rub of the calls. Does that make me want to bet it? No, because there are just too many damn distractions. But I think they will get the calls. So that's where I'm at with it. Here we go. Oh, bro, I didn't tell you guys about the Bucks money line because last time I did it, a bunch of people were like complaining and bitching. But I did get them off the Patreon. But yeah, that's why I didn't do it. But I will. I should have posted it, but I was just like, dude, fuck it. I didn't want to post it. And plus, sometimes like I try to be the adult in the room and like, yes, on the money line, if I have the Buccaneers, dude, that's a big bet. It's not like a six-figure bet, but it's a big bet when if I'm going after like the Buccaneers or Chiefs on the money line. And sometimes like people do crazy stuff. People do crazy stuff. And sometimes I feel responsible for people's actions with money, even though I really shouldn't. I do though. So there's that. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Colin. Patreon is on fire. You guys are on fire. You guys are growing this station like crazy. You guys are growing this station like crazy. That's why I keep doing the live call-in show Friday. It's just really to say thank you guys for sharing the videos, hitting the like button. I mean, you guys already got one video over 1,000 likes. I really appreciate it, man, because there's no big business. There's no company behind this. You know, there's no one shackling this station on YouTube. It's pretty much just you guys hitting the like button. Appreciate it, JP. McGavin, Chiefs never cover. We got him against the Eagles. We got him against the Eagles. And maybe that's why Chiefs money line could be the play this week. When they played the Eagles, you know, I thought they would cover, but it's never easy with them. You're right, McGavin. They play 3 quarters. Okay, here we go, Mr. Strains, bets, and totals. 67% of tickets on unders, but 2 major bets over $1 million and over. What do you think about that? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I don't try to overthink stuff like that. I really don't. But you know, you guys are right though that I think sometimes the line does affect the game, but I don't have enough information. That's my problem. But sometimes I do. Like last night was weird. We can't sit here and lie and say last night was normal. When the Eagles went for 2 and eliminated the push, that was really crazy. And it didn't make a lot of sense to anyone. Didn't make a lot of sense to Joe Buck. Didn't make sense to me. But yeah, that's just some of those weird things. That's why I don't like betting primetime games. I'll put them in if I have to. We have to make our money. We only have 16, 17 weeks to really get our money with the NFL. I'm good at betting soccer, but like, let's be real, these 6, 7 months are how the bread is buttered, how the rent is paid for the whole year. So you don't like missing out on shit like that, you know, and you don't like being screwed. So yeah, I try to stay away from the primetime games, but like I said, sometimes I have to put them on. Like, for instance, I knew the Jaguars were going plus 7.5 against the Bengals. I didn't put it on because it was prime time. I put it on a teaser, but that doesn't help people put food in their mouth. So, yeah, I try not to be a scaredy cat with prime time. I respect it. I know strange shit happens. I don't trust it. I know there's more money on it. And I know a lot of times the money is lopsided, and that makes me feel uncomfortable. But that doesn't mean I'm a scaredy cat that I'm not going to put on a primetime bet. Like last year on Patreon, the biggest primetime bet I put was against the Patriots. It was Rams Patriots, and I had to exploit that. Come on, why are people calling me? You guys, anyone who has my number knows what I'm doing right now at this time. Yeah, Lauren, I emailed it. You have like a spam blocker, bro. Even the first one I sent, remember the time I couldn't find you? You have a spam blocker, like, and it blocks everything. But yeah, I'll reply to you. Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you, Lauren, for getting back to me. That's easier. Appreciate it. Yo, shout out to Briner Rodriguez. Just joined Patreon. I appreciate it, Mr. Rodriguez. $5 Patreon, link in the description. Make sure you get on there. Bets will be posted tonight. Let me get to more of your questions. Listen, I've put a lot of Houston on the teasers. I said Houston would cover last week against the Patriots, but I don't know. It's hard to see them winning with Davis Mills, and the Colts aren't playing that bad. But I do think the Texans get a win before the year is over. Manscaped actually sent an email last week. They did send an email. So we'll see. Sometimes the sponsorships are more trouble than they're worth. I don't know if you guys remember the Thrive one last year. It just was more trouble than it was worth. But yeah, if there's something, Manscaped did hit me up. So I did send them some information. So we'll see what they say. But yeah, people are starting to buzz around on the channel. Oh, Mike, it's all good, bro. It's all good, bro. I know you're working, man. Working's a bitch. Okay, let's get Lauren on here. What's up, Lauren? How you doing?
Hey.
I got to just ask a question to the viewers. Guys, I don't have my headphones in. Does the quality echo when Lauren talks? Just talk for a second, just so I know if I have to get my headphones. Oh, it froze anyways. Okay, we'll see. Anyways, so I'll keep answering questions until your internet comes back. You should just restart your camera or re-enter the room. Hey, okay, this is from Joseph Walton. Hey, Johnny, I know you don't do fantasy, but if there was one game you love to target to go nuts and shoot out, which game would that be, man? Well, first of all, you always want to target shootouts when you know it's going to be a close game. Okay, so let me go down the list. A shootout, I think Green Bay, Chicago could have some elements. And did you guys see Green Bay, Chicago just went up to 6 points? Lauren, what's up?
Hey.
How's it going?
I don't know what happened there.
Maybe the internet went out. So,
no, I think what it is I still had the YouTube going and then I entered to come in. So it was like I was in double. so I had sense. Yeah, for sure.
So
how are you doing?
I'm doing good. So are there any games you're looking to bet?
Yeah. I'm on Houston with the points. I know it's a you got to be a little contrarian sometimes though, I'm on them I'm on Indy when they're an underdog, with like last week, which we hit on. I'm not on them to cover 9 or 10 or point favorite. They're not that exciting.
Well, but the problem with Houston is Davis Mills. Like, I agree with Houston. Like, I've been saying their defense is better than people think the whole year. But my issue is Davis Mills. Like, I didn't get to see any of the Patriots tape. So I didn't see how Davis Mills played or didn't play.
Well, he played really, really well. And then I think they got a little flustered when when New England started coming back. They got almost like, they lost it for themselves. So they're not really elite at all. So they don't know how to save a game. You know what I mean? Whereas if you've got like Aaron Rodgers or, Russell Wilson or, certain quarterbacks that can just, Tom Brady can manage their lead enough, like what they did last night, whereas Houston just didn't have that type of technique or fundamental to keep it together.
Well, and my issue is with Houston, Colts are going to be motivated. That's why I'm staying the hell away from it. But next game, because I don't think anyone wants to hear about this.
No, for sure. I am also. I mean, I know that you kind of told me good luck with that. I'm on Arizona. I know that Arizona's not good against the run, but Chubb, I was watching all week, and then today I think we just confirmed he's out, right?
He's out.
Now Kareem Hunt is just as, but elite, but now they don't have a two-headed monster. And I don't think that Cleveland can keep up with, Arizona's high offensive craziness. I mean, that's just my opinion. But
yeah, you're probably right. But and the thing is, with the +3, I would rather have the +3 in a game without Chubb, because my issue with the Browns is their secondary. Obviously, something's broken there. I'm sure you saw Herbert last week. So,
and they're hurt. They're banged up. That's the next thing I was going to say. You're right. I think, what is it, Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome, even Clowney, I don't even know. They're all questionable,
Well,
so.
yeah, and their pass rush, I'm worried about Clowney, because Clowney doesn't do a whole lot now, but if you have Clowney, it really helps. And I wanted to see him to get a pass rush, because that's why San Fran was getting stops on Kyler Murray last week.
Yeah.
Because the pass rush.
Right. And now last week was a divisional game. So it's a little bit different, in my opinion. The Browns at home, I know I'm going to throw some numbers that you're going to start to probably throw up at, but the Browns at home are 3-13-1 versus winning teams against the spread.
I want to go that way. Here's why you can't do that, because this Browns is not the same as 3-4 years ago.
Well, that's the last 15 games.
Yeah, but they were still
or 17
same team with Freddie Kitchens.
17 games, last 17 games. So from last year to this year.
No, because because it's the last 17 home games.
Against
home games, you only have 8 a year.
Okay, right. So you do have part of 20. So it would have been part of 2019, because it's against winning teams. So yes,
yeah, there's not a lot of games against winning teams, so that could go back 4, 5, 6.
It could.
Years.
It could.
4 or 5 teams a year with winning records. Then you only get 8 home games, so this might go back 7, 8, 9, 10 years. That's how I'm always good at breaking down stats.
So you're absolutely right. Now the last 7 games, they're 2-5 against the spread at home.
Yeah. But they've also had massive, last year. Okay, one of those games they didn't cover against the Bengals. They were favored by 12.5 points.
Sure.
But yeah, I get it.
Sure. And I'm not. I almost wish maybe I stayed away from the game, but I didn't. I got a little trigger happy with Arizona. I think Arizona is legit this year, and pending injury factors on both sides, really, because Arizona's got some banged up, like we said, Chandler Jones, and they got some banged up too. But I'm on a team that has proven themselves this year with points as an underdog. That's kind of more my motivation.
Let me answer this question. I post them 10 or 10:30. And then also, I don't think it's a bad bet at all. But here's one I like a lot more. I like Cincy on the road. If I had to take a road team, I like Cincy. I know you like Detroit, but I think people are.
How did you know?
Because everyone likes Detroit. And I think people are overestimating what happened in that game against the Vikings.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. I turned the game off before all that stuff transpired. The Vikings were just running out the clock. But the Lions, here's the thing with the Lions. I'll tell you why. I don't think their offense is going to be able to get over 17 points.
At some point, are they going to win though? At some point, they're not just going to go winless, right? Maybe it's not this game, but at some point, are they going to win? So I'm not betting the game at all. I'm more on the, Detroit side with the hook. but I'm not betting the game.
Could I tell you a bet everyone's taking? A lot of people are doing a future bet where you can say Texans are going to win first or the Lions are going to win first. And the
Is that a
odds
thing?
are really favored in the Lions fact.
That's a thing.
It is. It is. And I actually took the Texans because it was like plus like 850.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I don't think the Lions are going to win this week.
Yeah, they might not. I'm all about Joe Burrow. I was on him last week. I got a push, but one thing I said last week on this podcast was these young teams and these young coaches and these young players are in every game, which is why I was on Philly last week against Carolina. And I got a lot of heat for that. I did, on a lot of different factors, but and then the Cincy thing with the whole kicker situation, that was just the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Like, nobody could make an extra point, a field goal, so it ended up being a push, which, Cincinnati, I was on the Cincy side last week, and again, these young teams, just in my opinion, with these they're in every. Last night, Philly
you don't want
showed,
to overreact because
no. That's why I'm not on Cincinnati.
So okay, it was a push. Okay, that's fine, but I understand you guys don't like them, but you can't sit here and tell me last week Cincy wasn't the right bet. Like, there's going to be results,
right? Yeah, I was on Cincy, so I mean, I think that they screwed up. They get screwed up multiple times to give it to the Packers. You can't do that with Aaron Rodgers and walk away with a win. Like, no.
Yeah, I just had to block someone in the chat. That Gabe guy's going wild. My goodness. Like, yeah, and like, what other games were you looking at this week?
So I'm on Buffalo. One thing, I'm a big, revenge factor. And I said it last week with Buffalo, with Kansas City, with them ruining their, ending their season last year. And they were going to come out for blood, and they did. Another thing, Buffalo, I think some people might have forgotten the biggest loss Buffalo had last year was a blowout in Tennessee, 42-16, week 5.
Remember, that was a weird game. Wasn't that like a Tuesday or Wednesday night? You remember that?
It was 42-16. Buffalo got their butts kicked. It was their biggest blowout loss in I don't know how long. Well, I mean, in a while, since Josh Allen became what he is. They didn't forget about that, I don't think. And they're going to come in just like they did with the Chiefs last week. And, Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry, but he can only do so much. And one thing I said in the chat earlier is Buffalo is the healthiest team in the NFL. Healthiest.
Did everyone agree with you in the chat? Because I don't get to read too much in the chat. Were people
there were several people that said, yeah, absolutely, healthy teams make a difference. I read a couple before I came in here, and they, some people, I think his name was Derek, he said, yeah, he agreed. Another guy said, yeah, absolutely, healthy matters. I guess Julio is playing. I didn't think he was, but even if he is, he's going to have Tre'Davious White will probably be on A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown hasn't done a whole hell of a lot. I don't think Ryan Tannehill can keep up with Buffalo's their offense is just sick, and B, their defense is been brought to another level this year. And I don't, you can only do so much with Derrick Henry. So I mean, you can run him, but if you keep stacking the box, well, then what? So
yeah, and plus the Bills front is better than last year. And have you noticed the Titans offense really doesn't have any rhythm this year? Like, they really don't. Like, and here's the thing that stat guys went way too crazy with. Ryan Tannehill. You never said Ryan Tannehill was good, because I know we had that conversation a long time ago.
I'm not on him, yeah.
That's like one way that like stat guys get fooled. Like they think Ryan Tannehill is like 6th, 7th best quarterback in the league. But like you said, I agree with it. And plus, do the Titans have any big plays in them? Like I know Julio Jones is back, AJ Brown's back. You would think that means big plays, but how many are they really going to make?
And I think the public expected them to be, up their level because they added somebody to AJ Brown's other side to you know what I mean? They added Julio Jones this year. So I think everybody had these insane, expectations for them, which they're not bad expectations, but I've never really been a Julio Jones fan. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not that he's bad. He definitely has the numbers improving, but I didn't think he could do what everybody else was thinking.
There's only one ball. And if they wanted to pick up an elite player to tip the scale, it should have been a defensive end. Can I just address this comment? Okay, let me read this. Let me see what you think about this. Bro, I just got scammed by a scammer and a guy recommended you. What does that even mean? I don't know. Just know, like, don't talk to me unless it's from my Instagram or my email. I don't know what that even means. You want to take a stab at it?
Was it the person that was spamming the chat earlier? That's the only thing. Was it that for? I don't know.
I don't know. I hope it's like, come on, guys, don't click on anything crazy. Like,
I'm on. We already talked about. I'm on Dallas with you. I'm not betting the game. I'm leaning towards the Dallas side with you, which is we have a lot of agreeances this week, which makes me, which is good. Maybe we're thinking alike this week. I just don't think I don't think New England's they can't keep up. Mac Jones can't possibly. He doesn't have the weapons. He doesn't have they don't have the run game between Pollard and Zeke. They don't on every single category. Now, that in my opinion is the one thing that could just go off the chain this week, and I could be wrong because it's Foxborough, but there's no, like you said last, there's no Tom Brady coming out of there. You know what I mean? So I'm on the Dallas side. I don't like betting against Belichick. I get nervous.
The pixie dust, the Patriots pixie dust. But I mean, it's really strong this week. You got, like, I've had smart people on Instagram send me a message like saying, "Oh, should I bet the Patriots?" Like, the pixie dust is real. It's just
no. I am, and a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me. But I'm highly on Seattle this week, and I could be making a huge mistake, but I'm on them even with the injuries. Now, when I placed it, I did not know about Chris Carson, but to be honest with you, he's been banged up the last few weeks anyway, and they've been using other people. So to me, that's irrelevant.
I like Rashad Penny better, but he's always hurt, so you don't even know.
You don't get to see him. Right? You don't get to see him. And Geno, we haven't seen him in a while. I mean, like I said two things that I was saying is that you could theoretically be Russell Wilson's backup and make however many millions of dollars and never throw a ball for 4 years. I mean,
it's a good get.
Yeah, and we haven't seen him, but Seattle's had 3 extra days to play with Geno because they played on Thursday. So they've been playing Geno all 3 extra days. Seattle, I also like West Coast teams playing on the East Coast at nighttime. When I know this is a little shaky for you, but No,
the 1 o'clock, the West Coast to East Coast 1 o'clock is real. It's just, I think the thing you said that will make the difference for me is the extra days rest. I
3
think
days,
that's the biggest thing. And then that eliminates the West Coast to East Coast thing. So they should be good regardless.
Yeah. And I don't think, Juju's out. I know Deontay's going to be their target. Claypool's out there. I haven't seen much from this new Pat Mouth, whatever their rookie is. Maybe he'll get in the game eventually. But I just have not seen. I don't think they have what it takes to cover what is it, 5 points, right? 5.5 or whatever it is.
I think somewhere it's up to almost 6. So
I don't think Seattle has. I don't think Seattle has what it takes to do that. And it is still now Seattle's defense is, wishy-washy, maybe same as Green Bay's. But you know what I mean? But I think they'll be able to maybe make it. And sometimes people forget these backups. Now Tannehill is as much as we've downgraded him this year, when he came in after Mariota, he won the job. Why? Because he was winning games and doing good things. Teddy Bridgewater came in for Drew Brees and played 5 games against the Saints. One was against Seattle and won all 5 of them. Sometimes these backups, again, what we talked about last week with San Francisco, I still think that was a good bet. Just like you said, the rest of the team plays harder.
Yeah,
so
I agree, and I'm happy that they have the extra time because I think they'll put
3
in
days
some
rest.
place for them. And before you go, I got to ask your opinion on something.
What's that?
So today, I don't know if you've been following this game or if you were looking at it too much, but so I've been looking at the Packers-Bears game. Very curious about it. Thinking about diving into it. Probably will stay away. It's just prefacing that now. I have to think after the show. But anyways, let me say it to you. So it's been -5 all week, right? And right now, when we came on here, I saw it push up to -6. And for me, Chicago +6 at home, it's getting up a bit too high for me. And I just want to tell you, I'm very tempted by that game. I just want to tell the audience.
I think if you were looking at my opinion, I think so. They're obviously, we know Montgomery's out and the backup is now out, right? Because he's of COVID or something.
Correct.
So now it's the backup, and he's, I think, a rookie. So that makes me nervous, and that's probably why the line is maybe it could be why it's moving. Because now we're into like the guy that's been, carrying water bottles all year. So like, you know what I mean? So like, but those times, that was a Madison at one time, you know what I mean? So like, you can't count those guys out, and it's still, I think Fields is getting better. I would still take Fields over Tua. I think he's improving as opposed to stagnant digressing, if that makes sense.
And can I just say something about that Bears running back core? Yes, I understand that Ty Montgomery is out, and I understand they have a lot of injuries. I'm actually forgetting David Montgomery.
Dave Montgomery.
Yeah. The thing
and now Williams
none of
is
those
out.
guys are dogs. Like there's no like for me. Okay, you have your Dalvin Cooks, you have your Henrys, you have your Kamaras, you have your Nick Chubb. Like I feel like those guys add magic. But then again, there's these above average running backs like Montgomery. I don't know how much they add. And maybe that's wishful thinking on my part to try to cover up the blemish because we know they're going to need to run the ball. But you can run the ball against the Packers. Hopefully Fields helps with the run game. Hopefully read option is in play. We haven't seen too much out of Fields yet. I don't know. But I agree with you completely. Like at least Fields, you get energy and he can make big plays. Like with Tua, you're not. That's why I'm picking the Jags. What did you think about my Jags pick?
I'm on it. I'm with you. I already did it.
Yeah.
I'm on it. I think too, and while we're talking about this whole running back thing, are we ever going to see Tariq Cohen again? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
What, I don't know what happened to him. Like, I feel like there's this whole running back depletion in Chicago is just, and there's so many of them, you know what I mean? So they really have this potential to have this elite run game at some point in time. It'll probably be too late by the time it happens, but they have this ability. And I don't know if he's ever coming back. I don't even know what his injury is. It was some sort of, I don't know if it was a knee or a leg, but I don't know what is coming. If there's any light at the end of the tunnel, it's coming back. And look at, now Miami did run, what was it, Myles Gaskin last week, 5 times, and he got 35 points, fantasy points. He ran 5, I think 2 of them were touchdowns. That's probably why. That's the thing Miami needs to do. They just don't. And I don't think Miami's defense is what it was last year. Jacksonville, we talked about last week, really is the only home team in London. So not that really even matters, but at the same point in time, I'm on the Jags because eventually they're going to win too. And I would put them to win before all the other winless teams.
Because Jags are looking better. Yeah,
they're improving, and Lawrence is improving. That's the other thing. They're also almost like in every game. They were close to beating Arizona, who's currently undefeated. So like that's the other thing. The Cincinnati's, the Jacksonville's, especially Philly. This Sirianni guy, that coach, he never wants to give up. And I guess Danny Dimes is playing, so I think we confirmed that 10 points. I don't know if I can touch that. That's the one question I came in here with you actually that I haven't had a chance to ask you yet. Did you even talk about that game yet? Because do you have a read on that?
Yeah, I've been thinking like with the 10.5, I'm thinking the Giants because of Danny plays. Like here's the problem though, like Sterling Shepard's playing, correct? Or is he out?
Yeah. He was questionable, and I think somebody might have put in the chat a few minutes ago that he's playing, and that Kadarius Toney guy, that rookie they drafted, he is balling out.
He's nice. I did call that. And
you did.
And then with the Giants, they do have some injuries on defense. I don't think it's going to be anything too drastic. And then also with the Rams, if the Rams can't really pound you with the run game, here's my question. I don't know. I don't think their offense is that explosive if they can't run it well. You can't run it well against the Giants. That's why I really like it with 10.5. If Daniel Jones is playing, I was picking the game all week as if Mike Glennon were playing, but it's good that Daniel Jones will play.
And I think, and it's Darrell Henderson. So I mean, like for the Rams, it's not like it's not like it's a Nick Chubb or even a Kareem Hunt or an Aaron Jones or an Austin Eckler. And that's the other thing I wanted to get your opinion on was that, how we are with our Chargers, right? Like, so I wasn't on them last week, and I was wrong. But that game came down to a complete, that I wasn't on them, but I wish I was.
That was a dice roll because I feel like the coach of the Chargers won the game with how aggressive they were going for it on fourth down pretty much from mid-third quarter to the end of the game. It was crazy.
And kudos to Cleveland for pulling Eckler into the end zone for the touchdown so they could get the ball back. And when he was just going to sit, I think, on the 1 yard line.
I thought Baker was going to steal it. Baker had 3 legit chances for the end zone. They are lucky. They didn't. Yeah. The Browns didn't steal it.
And that's why, I was on the Cleveland side last. I didn't want to be because, I have this Justin Herbert love. So I didn't want to be on Cleveland last week. And I was wrong. I'm glad that I didn't touch it. Because I would have been, I would have been wrong, and that's why because I love my Chargers. So
I got to tell you before you go, it's just give me your opinion on what I'm about to say, then you can go. Is it just me? But I know you're a Saints fan, but you're pretty objective.
Yeah.
But I am starting to get really excited about the Saints, and I know it's just Washington, and it is Washington, and they have their issues. But is it just me? Or are you getting really excited after that Washington game? We don't get to see him this week, so I guess the lid's kind of on the excitement. But I'm telling you, that play action with Jameis.
Oh my gosh,
against Washington. It was nasty.
Well, and we got Thomas coming back, so Thomas will be, if you want, to get involved into that. Thomas, I believe, as of today, I saw online somewhere saying welcome back Michael Thomas. So he's practicing, I believe, and they have this week off. So the whole intent actually from the beginning of the season was for him to come back after the bye. And it looks like he's on track to do exactly that. So if you now have an elite wide receiver, one of the most elite wide receivers in the game, really, one of the most elite, and he wasn't even there half the year last year with Drew. But now you've got Alvin Kamara, who's just in a league of his own, Michael Thomas, and Jameis is getting better. He's getting, they have to design things for him, and I am objective, I do think that it's possible in some of these divisional games you might see some upsets. With the Saints when they become underdogs again, because anytime you make Sean Payton an underdog, it's like an insult to him. And
do you think we're going to be able to catch him? For instance, let me phrase this differently. I don't know the Saints schedule off the top of my head, but do you think we're going to be able to catch more favorable lines? Like, dude, we ate so big on that Pats line.
Mm-hmm.
And
we were. It was great. Made a lot of money in those two games. Yeah.
Are we going to keep getting those when they place like below average teams? Like, people think the Patriots are above average, but they're below average. Mm-hmm. Are we still going to keep getting those lines when teams are below average, or do we need hype like the Patriots?
Well, we're going to really see when they play Dallas, right? Let's see. I'm not sure who their first. See, they got some weird schedules coming up. I know they play Dallas. They play the Jets. They play Buffalo on Thanksgiving Day in the Dome, and that's probably going to be atrocious for us. But I mean, you know what I mean? You never know. I mean, but yes, I mean, I know. And then they obviously got to have another game with Carolina. They have not played Tampa at all yet, and they haven't played Atlanta at all. So you got 5 more. You have 5 divisional games that haven't even happened for the Saints. The NFC South has barely played each other yet. So there's going to be a lot of things going on there. And I think that the Saints are going to steal some games. I think they might sneak their way into the playoffs.
They're going to the playoffs. No, I'm batting.
Yeah, really? Are you on me with that? Like, okay.
No, they're going to get 11 wins because the defense is so physical. Like,
it is, yeah. It is, and
they really hit people hard. And like, I don't want to make it too simple, like Grug, like Saint hit hard, but like they really do smash the living hell out of people.
And another thing, Will Lutz should be coming back soon. Thank the Lord. Right. Yeah, so, and Lutz's money, right? Because let's be honest, we wouldn't have lost against the Giants. We'd have one loss right now if Will Lutz was
field goal kicker completely changed the game against the Giants. Me and you liked the Giants with the 8 anyways. Okay.
We did.
But
yeah.
I'm just saying the Saints were going to cover that easy.
And can I ask you real quick before I bounce out of here and go to my poker game? Because that's what I do Friday nights. Can I ask you real quick, what is up with these kickers this year? Is there something good? Did they change something that I can't, and even last night, Jake Elliott missed, a field goal or whatever, and an extra point or something. What is so bad? I mean, we're in week 6. I mean, so we've completed 5 weeks, right? What is your take on why things are so bad right now?
I think because they choke. I think it's because of that. And listen, it's crazy because we still have good field conditions. First of all,
it's not even snowing anywhere yet.
Yeah, and we only have 8, 10, 12 grass fields in the league. Either way, the conditions are perfect and they still can't kick. I don't know what it is. So
do you think it's going to be a SoFi Stadium Super Bowl with LA and LA?
No.
No.
Do you?
I mean, I want it to be, but
I'm still going Buccaneers. That's all I know.
Yeah, you're still going Bucs?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll lose any more? They lost 1 to the Rams, right? Do you think they're going to go the rest undefeated, or do you think they'll get a couple beats?
Lose 2-3 more times. Because
you think so?
You know how they play. They don't even show up some games. They don't even leave second, third gear.
And part of the problem is their buys are always so late every year, where I think do you think that makes a difference? Because I do.
It does, because around what is it? It depends. It's different for every team. But around 8, 9, 10, you get really tired and the injuries start adding up. The Titans have a week 8 or 9 injury report to me. For instance.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So they start adding up, and then also when you have a really good team, they want to build after the bye. You saw the Buccaneers, they turned another switch in November. That's what you want to do, but that's
what I'm hoping for is that when the Saints get back from their bye, if Thomas is back and Lutz is back, whether it's the week after the bye or within 2 weeks, they're the bye, whatever the case may be, that still gives you a whole half a season. You know what I mean? So in my opinion, I'm hoping that we can make some noise, especially with us losing our first home game because of the hurricane, when having games come back home. And now we lost, the game against the Giants. So we've won every game on the road except for Carolina. But, so I think having like their whole team back with Jameis is really what I'm looking forward to seeing. Because, I'm a Saints fan. So I'm really looking forward to see Thomas put into this because Jameis is making plays, these Hail Marys with Callaway and Jawan Johnson. What was he doing? Parking cars before before that week? I didn't even know who he was.
No, they were nasty. And what's Taysom Hill's injury?
So he had a concussion. He was in concussion protocol after the last game. So he'll be. I mean, he's gonna be back. I mean, I think he's cleared or like he's practicing. But it was a hit to the helmet. So they had to put him in concussion protocol. But when you have him running, and Kamara running, it's almost like you got the Chubb Hunt thing going a little bit, which that's the problem is he can get hurt by doing that. You know what I mean? Jarrett
Hart says, "Let me know when the Saints Suck Fest is over."
Oh, he must be Michael's buddy over at the Panthers. So
I don't know what.
I don't know either.
All right, I'll let you go play your poker. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I'll see y'all next week. Good luck, everyone.
Have a good one. All right, I'm gonna take some questions before we go. Let's get some questions in. Thank you, Red Chef. I appreciate it, my guy. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I'll have So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get off now. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you share the videos. I got the teaser video up. Over under video is up. Go check those out. I will be posting the bets on Patreon. Just so everyone knows, I'll be posting them around like 10:30 tonight. Also, check Patreon. Last week, I put in the Titans one rather late, okay? Putting the Titans one rather late. So make sure you check Patreon. Also, right now we got one soccer pick for this Saturday. I will be posting more. I will be doing a separate thread of those. So look for those Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon soccer picks, Friday night, 10 o'clock, 10:30 Eastern for the football picks, and check in for any last minute picks. Thank you. Hit the like button, share the videos, the best gambling show on the internet.